The 6 coldest places on the planet. Earth is a planet of contrasts. In one place it can be infernal heat, in another terrifying cold. And despite the extreme temperatures, some places are being developed by people. In this article we will describe the coldest places on the planet and find out if people live there. Vostok Station in Antarctica. As you might guess, the coldest place on Earth is in Antarctica. In 1983, a temperature of -89.2 degrees Celsius was recorded here. The measurements were carried out at the Soviet scientific station Vostok. Such an extreme climate limits the life of visiting researchers. Productive work lasts only a few months a year, and there are no locals here. The warmest month in the east is December. Then the air warms up to -30 degrees. In 2002, they even recorded a record high temperature of -12.2 degrees. The coldest time is in August. The temperature is around 70 degrees below zero. In the east, the ice freeze is so much that its thickness reaches more than 3.5 Kelvin m. Icemet in Greenland. In addition to Antarctica, there is another treasure trove of ice and cold on the planet Greenland. In 1930, the expedition of geophysicist Alfred Wegener created the Icemet polar station here. The conditions were so harsh that blocks of snow were used to build the premises. Later in the same year, researchers managed to record a temperature of -65 degrees. In summer, the air here usually warms up to -12 degrees, and in winter it cools down to -50. There are no people willing to live here. That same expedition was curtailed a year later. Many members of the team got frostbite, and Werner himself died of hypothermia. Oymyakon in Russia. The village of Oymyakon in the Republic of Yakutia is the most famous cold place where people still live, about 500 people. In 1924, an extremely low temperature was established here, -71.2 degrees. But according to some reports, in 1938 this record was broken and it was about -77 degrees in Oymyakon. Modern measurements show more modest, but therefore no less frightening figures, -64.3 degrees. In the dispute over the main pole of cold, Oymyakon is fighting with Verkhoyansk, but the latter has an average temperature of 0.3 degrees higher in the year. It is noteworthy that in summer it is quite hot in Oymyakon. In 2010, the temperature was recorded at 34.6 degrees above zero. Verkhoyansk in Russia. Also in Yakutia there is another settlement that survives in the cold, the city of Verkhoyansk. In 1892, people had to withstand frosts at -68 degrees. Moreover, there is very little precipitation in the region, but the population is still not leaving and reaches 1,000 people. The average temperature in Verkhoyansk is -18.6 degrees. Just like in Oymyakon, there is a warm summer here. The hottest weather was at +37.3 degrees. Snag in Canada. Another cold place on the planet can be considered a settlement with a name characteristic of a Russian-speaking person, Snap. A small Canadian place is famous for the fact that here the air cooled down to -63 degrees in 1947. The researchers even had to lengthen the thermometer scale and send data to refine the figure. The resulting temperature was the lowest in North America at that time. In the middle of the century, there were only a small number of local natives in Snag. For a long time, the locals existed thanks to the military airfield. Its closure in 1968 led to the devastation of the village. North Ice in Greenland. In addition to the Icemet, there was another polar station in Greenland. North Ice was created in 1952 by the British and Danes and existed for 2 years. A temperature of -66.1 degrees was recorded here. No one lives here now. Thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe to the channel, and write a comment. See you in the next story.